Hello VRay users, Alex here, VRay Guide, and today we're going to check out VRay Materials library, which was added with VRay 5 to 3ds Max. You can see we have a lot of materials. Finally, it is here, and today we're going to check out those materials by using Chaos Group interior scene right here. Okay, so as you can see here, we have huge variety of textures, and I've got my scene here, which you can download below this video, with 4 different HDRIs in order to test how the scene works. So let me just click, let's do a quick render just to see what we are getting here. So you can see the lights has been built up, and we have a regular scene with some illumination here. So let's just start, adjusting this and dropping materials inside and see what we can work with. So we have big library of bricks and also interior and exterior bricks. Those are looking very cool. I think I'm gonna use that for my loft, for the update of a loft scene. We have car paint, a lot of cool car paint looking materials. Those are pretty complicated, and if we add one of those to our library, we can see that this material, not this in particular, let's try this one. Yeah, you can see they have a lot of flakes, and they have very good use of the blending material, which comes and gives us this cool result. Ceramic, let's add this one, and I'm just gonna drop it on this plant. In order to see that this material was applied, make sure you click here, show shader, and in your display color, make sure you switch to material color. That way you can see the real colors of that scene. Okay, now concrete. This is pretty cool. Let's try a couple of those here. This is looking nice, so let's add that to the scene. Drag and drop. Yeah, wow, this is looking cool. Let's do our interactive render. So I'm going to launch my IPR. And interactive kicks in. If we click on this icon here, we can really follow the mouse, and then it will start fixing and enhancing those areas that we want to work with. So this is looking pretty cool. Okay, but the scene feels a little bit mono, so let's spice it up, and let's add some. I'll try some other concrete. Let's add this guy, add to the scene. Wow, this is looking really nice. I really like how this concrete appears here. Let's keep moving. So we have diagrammic stuff, which is got different nets, and we have fake glass, cork. We have emissives, which is a light object. So we have LED lights, we have digital clocks. I have a lot of cool fabrics. Let's try to experiment a little bit with these guys too. So I'm going to add that to the scene, and let's see how this looks on our carpet, and activate those dots, and let's see how this stuff is looking. So those dots look Looking cool. Not crazy about it. Let's try another material here. I know this mono scene needs some pitches of more delicate, some leading material, some leading color, you know. And let's try this fabric. This is a really cool velvet, and I'm actually gonna drop this on my cover, my bed cover. This is looking cool, but I'm not crazy about the purple. Let's see how the red works. Red is looking cool, but I think it's too dominant. Let's try the blue. We need something that will give more. I think blue is good, more of a luxury look, you know, and we'll go with the tones of this concrete. I think the concrete wall is looking pretty cool. Those leaks and good stuff. But we need to fix. I don't like how those lines intersect with our pictures on the wall. So we're gonna fix that in a minute. Let's just try something else for the carpet. Let's try this. And we have to, there's a little VRay fur going on the carpet. So in order to see that, we need to apply that material to both. This is looking pretty cool. I kind of get this line here that goes boom, 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 like that. I really like it because it gives that, it kind of directs eye to travel, and it goes really good, aligns to the perspective. So I think I'm gonna keep that carpet. It's looking pretty cool. Let's see what else we have. We have foam, we have glass, bunch of glasses, we have ground for exteriors, gravel, grass, a lot of cool stuff. Leather, very cool leather textures, a lot of them. This is a nice leather material right here. You know how hard it is to make a really good looking leather, because in every light situation, you know, if you have references, you gotta go and tweak it, and those are looking pretty good. So we have liquid for water, alcohol, wine. We have metals. Let's add some metals here to those frames that we have. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to get my material editor, aluminum anodized. This is looking pretty cool. Let's get that, add to the scene, and I'm gonna put it here on that frame, because blue and gold, they kind of go good together. I know it's a nice combination. And let's add blurry aluminum, add to the scene, and let's put that on those frames. I don't think I should make those frames in gold, but this blurry will go good with the wall. So we'll do some gold accents on the side here, but overall we're gonna stay in two tones, this gray and blue. Okay, stuff is looking good. Now let's add another gold. I'm gonna add this blurry gold to that guy here. And I really want to test those metals. This is looking cool. Chrome chameleon. Let's do that chameleon and see how it works. Right here. Yeah, this stuff is looking pretty awesome. Alright, now I want to fix my wall here. And I'm gonna put UV on it. And now let me try and fix this frame a little bit better. So I'm going to select my camera and let's move it back a little bit so we get a little bit better framing here. So what I'm trying to do is, let me stop the render here. Let me just put it on pause. And let's fix the frame a little bit better. So we will see our camera as HD, and the camera is not moving, probably locked. So let's go to the IK link info and just unlock all of this stuff here. It's a good practice to lock your camera so you will not move it accidentally if you have confirmed it with your client. Okay, now we can move it out. And let's activate our save frame. Select camera and go down to clipping. And let's activate our clipping so we'll see through. Alright, this is looking pretty good. And let's position our camera so we get a nice cool angle. Make sure you have your save frames on so you will see exactly what you're rendering. And let's take the pictures also and add them here so we can see it a little bit better. Now let's continue. We can add some other cool materials. And let me get some extra aluminum anodized here so we get a little bit of variety of that gold. And I'm gonna take this aluminum bump and I'm going to change this to the frames because they kind of came out a little bit too dark if we look in here. Okay, let's add a few more materials and we can set up our render. I think on the walls here I actually want to make it a little smaller like that. get that. Alright, I think this is looking a little bit better. Still want to see some leaks on my wall. It's pretty cool. And let's see what else we've got here. We've got paper, we've got plastic, we've got stone, tiles, various wallpapers, which is pretty cool, and wood. Let's see some wood. I'm going to add this and try how this looks on my floor. So here the floor is too dark, it doesn't go really well with this. So let's add something lighter. Maybe something like this. I really love how VRay gets really fast representation of what you are about to get here. And I don't really like this floor. Let's get some tiles in there, something like this. Remember, you can use real world materials in order to get your measurements correctly. So I already see that my floor is not working properly. I mean, it's going with the lines the other direction. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add another UVW and actually make it, let's see, make it a little smaller. Let's start with this, go into T, and yeah, we need to really make our tile smaller. Something like this would work nicely. And just to rub this up, let's add a couple of more materials. So we have plastic, let's add some plastic, and I think we can render this thing. Let's add this very reflective one. I'm gonna put it on this table. Let's get some chrome aluminum, but very shiny. And metals, something that polished like this one. And we can add it to those table legs, so we can see how the chrome works. It's pretty cool stuff. And let's add one matte like this, anodized. This is a pretty cool looking material. I'm gonna add it to this, I think it's a lamp, to this lamp. And regular plastic. Let's just add this shiny one right here. Okay. And what else? Let's do a little quick test. So we will know that we're rendering the right thing. wow, this plastic is looking pretty cool right here. Oh, and I think this one got lost. It's ceramic. So let's get our ceramic back. Let's put that ceramic. Okay. And let's see how this is looking. Oh wow, the velvet is looking very nice. I can already see that this is going to be a really spectacular right here. And I'm not crazy about this frame. Let's fix it a little bit. Something is wrong here. So I'm gonna do something like this. All right. Yeah, I think this is looking nice. Okay. And let's set up our render here. I'm going to add a bunch of layers for me to do post-production. So I'm going to add global illumination, lighting, of course light mix, very important. And I'm going to get my reflections, refractions, specular. Let's do total lighting so we can manipulate it a little better. And let's add this. Click OK. The most important, of course, light mixer here. Now we can go ahead and I'm actually going to increase my rendering to be more quality one. So I'm gonna put here 0.05, a little bit smaller buckets, so small buckets run faster, so you might get a faster render. And I think we can render, so I'm gonna click render, and it's gonna build my light cache, and my image is going to be rendered. Alright, and the render was done. It took 2 hours 43 seconds with a really high quality. And we can see that I'm at 200. I'm actually going to be at 100% right here. You can see, so we can review our textures, how this stuff came out. And I'm looking here, this stuff is looking phenomenal. I love this concrete wall, and I love how the metal feels, and the cloth. This velvet is just freaking amazing. This plastic looks very, very cool. The mat also, the ceramic here, pretty cool. The floor, look at the carpet. Very high quality stuff. I'm very pleased. So as you can see here, I also have light mixer. So I'm gonna do a little post-production within just to fix those colors in this light mixer. So as you can see, we have the light presence. I'm gonna actually lower this a little bit, and because it's kind of overburning, I don't like those heavy burns. Self-illumination, this is the lamp, and it's nice how it's really like going far. So somewhere here, wow, it's pretty cool like how it goes all the way to nothing, and you don't really have to render it, you can just turn it off. Very cool. This is the overall, the rest, see anything here. And let's go to composite and let's add a render element. Let's see what we have here. I actually rendered a lot of those elements, and let's see if there's anything we can use. This is reflection with the filters, noise level. I actually want to have specular, this guy. I love using specular. It adds this really cool level of blurriness. And let's add something to fix our dark tones. And so let's reduce a little bit this highlight so we will not burn everything. And increase the exposure a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Somewhere here. And just a little bit, tiny smidge. Oh, and we're actually using exposure on the specular, so make sure you go all the way up and then you add the exposure. Yeah, now it's not connected. Okay, so we reduced a little bit just to get that detail here. I was getting lost. Also here kind of got big overexposure. Let's see if we have lens flare. Have a little glow. So I'm gonna add just a smidge, something like this. Just right here, a nice glow on the window. And just because we don't have any lens flare effect that's needed here on the lamps and everything, I'm not gonna do any of that stuff here. Lens scratches, dust. It's actually all for lens flares, all right? Let's bring a little bit, I'm gonna add some constant just to brighten up the darken areas. Very so slightly, so we will not have that crazy contrast. And I'm also gonna add some tone mapping, filmic, and that will bring me my contrast back. All right. So last thing we're gonna do a little bit maybe color balance just to tone this because it's looking a little bit cold and concrete. It's good to have the combination of warm and cold. So we're gonna have colder inside and a little bit warmer of concrete somewhere here. So from very kind of cold looking rooms need to be a little bit warmer so they will have appealing feeling to them. You know, if you do cold room, nobody wants to be in a cold room, but you know, you still can do blue colors, but just make sure to kind of mix them and not to make too cold of a feeling because it probably would not sell, you know. Okay, let's see the magenta here and the hints. Oh, I have to put it up so I can see what's going on. Yeah, a little bit of a greenish like that. Wow, I like how this here comes out. And yeah, we're kind of losing the greenish a little bit that we used to have. So something like this. Very slight, but you can see it's kind of getting warmer from cold like this to slightly warm. It just makes it more naturally. Even though from the window supposed to be coming in cold light, you know, because we get a lot of bouncing from the skies. But in this case, my actually warm, just because everything is very cold inside, we're kind of gonna do vice versa and make it a little bit sunnier, a little bit more greenish and yellowish day, so the sun is not that high. It's kind of towards more, you know, afternoon. This is where we get a little bit warmer colors. And just because the sun is not direct, this is when we can actually use softer colors to make the natural lighting warmer, which in most cases it will be a cold one, you know, because of the sky. Sky throws a lot of bluish tones in it. Okay, maybe we can do a little bit color balance as a last step. So I always start from midtones and kind of try to tweak it. You know, I'm gonna come back at the evening and do a few more tweaks to this, because I do feel that good color correction needs to be done not only during the day but also during the night lights, so you can see, because during the day I get a lot of influence of natural color. I might not see the dark areas enough, you know, but at the evening when everything is down, the darks will actually pop out and I can see if I'm having really good balance and contrast and not really making all my shadows too dark, you know, which, you know, people tend to do when they do post-production with a lot of light coming in. All right, so in my night review, I actually discovered a couple of cool things that I can add in order to improve overall those dark shadows that I'm actually noticing right now. The render is overall good quality and it's there. We just need to fix a couple of little things that popped out, and you can see that only at the different lighting situation inside your room actually, you know. What I did is I added illumination, self-illumination pass, and you can see this is this lamp, and on top of that we added reflection, and I added another pass of specular. You can see that specular is really good by adding those highlights, those soft blurry shadows. Global illumination, that's a pass that actually was able to fix my overall illumination in the room. I didn't want to make it too flat, but I can use it as addition to fixing my lighting, which is really cool. VRay light, this is the light that comes through the window, but you can see it kind of burns everything here. So on top of that, I've added curves, just influencing that VRay light pass. You can see by adding it, it removes all those overburned areas. Noise level is the one that actually fixing what's under the bed. It's also a part of those passes right here, you can find it. And I added another refraction because I saw that my image is a little bit too dark, so you can add refraction in order to fix your all refractive. You can see my clock here and the glass window, all of those areas getting affected. But mainly I'm trying to fix my painting here, so not too dark, not too bright, just enough to give it a glassy look. Okay, and on top of that, of course, we're going to add lens flare, and denoiser is going to fix and give a really nice look to our image. I actually like it without denoiser, but denoiser does brings that good contrast in. I'm not sure why it's affecting the light, but it does give a cool result. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Check out my Udemy stuff, and by the way, you can download this in below in order to practice with us. Share it, like it. This is Alex, your VRay guy. Talk soon. Ciao.